Cette vidéo est sponsorisée par Card Market, c'est le meilleur site pour acheter et vendre tes cartes. Aujourd'hui, j'ai le plaisir de recevoir l'homme qui est derrière l'animation de Sol Ring que tu as peut-être vu sur Game Night sur la chaîne de The Command Zone. C'est aussi quelqu'un qui fait des animations de cartes Magic gratuites que tu as pu voir sur Passion Carton dans les premiers épisodes de la chaîne, notamment Ponder ou AC Manipulator. C'est Jeffrey Palmer. Hi Jeffrey, how are you doing?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing wonderful.
Thanks for accepting the chat. Can you introduce yourself in a few words?
I am kind of known throughout the magic community for a variety of things, just kind of using my talents as a TV commercial to uh, bring some work to content creators in the community.
And how did you start animating Magic cards?
I was bored. I was just kind of like looking for a way to use my skills to do something that interested me rather than, just doing sales for commercials all the time. When I got back into Magic in around 2015, uh, a friend of mine sent me the trailer for the new set, and I was like, this was before they were doing the 3D trailers, when they were actually taking Magic cards and animating them. And I was like, ooh, that's cool. I can do some of that. And my first card was Anger of the Gods, and I posted the animation on Reddit, and it just went viral. It went to the top of the Magic the Gathering subreddit, and I got a ton of comments of people saying, this is so cool, and you got to keep doing this. And even the artist, um, commented saying, "Wow, great job with my art," which was super gratifying because whenever you manipulate someone else's artwork, it's always scary because you're thinking, well, what if they come back and say, hey, what did you do to my delicate piece of artwork? But fortunately, I've never had that happen where somebody's come back and said anything negative about what I did with their work. So yeah, that's kind of how it got started, and I just went from posting on Reddit on through to getting noticed by Channel Fireball and taking over the animations to do the promos for their tournaments. And then, yeah, that just led to the work with all the content creators.
So, which content creator have you worked with?
It's kind of hard to find content creators that I haven't worked with. The first big breakthrough was when I started working for the Command Zone. I animated the now pretty ubiquitous Soul Ring into it's one Soul Ring animation into the other Soul Ring animation, and I just sent it to them. I just said, "Hey, I made this. I'm a fan of you guys, and what do you think?" And they were like, "This is incredible." They still use it. It's still the intro to the Command Zone, and then they hired me to do a bunch of the backdrops for their sets. They had these cool windows that they have going on behind them, and yeah, so that led to working with Loading Ready Run. I did the intro to at least two of their shows, and I've gotten to work with Professor from Tolarian Community College on a whole variety of projects. I would do his preview card animations or wherever he kind of was interested. And then the most fun thing I think that I did with my animations was I realized that I had a whole pile of them, like 50 animations. A lot of them were just fan animations, stuff people hadn't paid me for, just that I had made, for love of doing it. And I collected all those into a Google Drive folder, just a place anybody could access on the internet. And that has led to them popping up all over the place, which is just an absolute thrill. Let's say people want to start a YouTube channel about, who knows what. They'll go to my folder and pick some animations that they like and make their little intro out of it. And it's like, that's great.
Well, that's exactly what I did, so thank you very much.
Absolutely. I love to hear it. People all the time, people will just message me, "Hey, I grabbed Ponder, it's my intro."
Yes.
It's like, "Yes, that's great." Or I grabbed whatever you see that you want. I wish I had time to do more. I hope to at some point, because some of those animations 10, 20 hours to bring
Yeah.
cards fully to life. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, how long does it take to animate a card? I guess it depends, but
It depends on the card exactly, but some of the more complex cards were up, 20 hours or around
wow.
there. That's pretty rare. I remember I did a Liliana Heretical Healer and then had her flip into her other side. So that was two full animations that were combined, and yeah, that was pushing several days worth of work. If you go to my Twitter at Living Cards MTG, and then in my bio there's a link. You can go and look at all the animations that are available for you. There's even project files if you're interested in learning how to make the animations. I included a full project file for Grim Tutor, I think the book opening, and on my YouTube channel I do a video companion to go along with it that kind of shows you the thought process and the steps that I took.
Yeah, I watched that this morning, and the process is pretty complicated. Like you have to deconstruct everything in order to assemble it back.
Exactly. You have to tear it all apart and then put it back together. 99 times out of 100, it's been just taking a flat image and saying, okay, I gotta take the person off the background and then rebuild the background behind them. Any effects that are in front of them, like let's say there's leaves falling, I have to cut all those out and then fill in all the behind them. So it can be a really arduous process.
That's what it looks like. So, quick, impossible question. Which one is your favorite?
I really like Plague Spitter, which was one of the earliest ones that I did, and it has these horrifying little feet that kind of
Hmm.
scuttle along the sand, and that was the first time I ever tried to make a seamless loop because it scuttles along and
Okay.
then it zooms out and then you see that the video has repeated. My absolute favorite, I'll tell you, I've thought of it because I remembered I've answered this question before and I don't remember the card. It's Nissa, but she's holding up sand, and within the sand, there's just a little plant. But then, as she watches it, it kind of turns gray and then turns to dust and blows away. And then it loops seamlessly, so then it grows again and it blows away. And it's sort of this cycle of, life and death. And like, that was one of the first times I ever thought, okay, I'm taking what the artist has done and adding more to the story. Since now
Mhm.
it's actually uh, a thought rather than just an instance. It's like it tells a story.
I saw you also liked to put MTG art into famous movie screenshots.
Yes. That wasn't as popular because I think people just didn't know the movies. I think it was kind of confusing for people. A few of them. Let's see, I think it's Narset fighting Neo in the Matrix, and that one
Yes.
kind of went viral. So there were a few that people keyed on and were like, wow, this is really cool.
So, next topic, yeah, Paddington. So, you are on an epic quest to make one Paddington edit every day. So, pour ceux qui connaissent pas l'ours Paddington, en gros, c'est un ours tiré d'un livre pour enfants anglais des années 50-60. Et c'est l'histoire d'un ours abandonné dans une gare à Londres, donc la gare de Paddington. Et donc, il est élevé par une famille. Vous l'avez sûrement déjà vu, il a un petit chapeau rouge, un duffelcoat. Ces livres se sont vendus à des dizaines de millions d'exemplaires. Et il y a même plusieurs films. So I have to say, I've never met such a hardcore Paddington fan. So where did that come from?
Well, I wasn't initially a Paddington fan, but what happened is there's another person out there in the world, and his whole thing is he takes Paddington and puts him into movies. What I initially thought I was going to do was I was going to meme the meme by taking Paddington and putting him into Magic the Gathering. I did just like his style. I said, I Photoshop Paddington into a Magic card until I don't day one. And then it occurred to me. I thought, well, what if Paddington is the cutest thing, out. It's just a children's cartoon. It's wonderful, sweet, and innocent. What if I take the nastiest, grossest Magic card that I can find, which was surgical extraction, I think, with the spine of the guy's back being ripped out. And I just
Yeah.
put Paddington in that, and he's just kind of going, huh, that's odd. And it just skyrocketed. And I think 100 or more people followed me just that day. And all the comments were going, we're here for the series, so continue on. We've followed you for this series you're doing now. I was fortunate enough to be interviewed by the New York Times about this whole thing. They were interviewing the other guy, the guy who does the Daily Paddington about the movies and TV show, and he said, "Hey, you got to talk to Jeffrey because he does it as well on for Magic cards." And I think it's just the whimsy of the thing that people appreciate so much because it's this carefree, innocent spirit, and it just sort of makes sense that he's always finding himself in situations that spiral out of control. So it makes sort of perfect sense that he would find himself in these crazy characters. As if he were a planeswalker, then Paddington, this is just what would happen to Paddington. He would show up as all these different creatures and different planes, and I think Magic players kind of identify with the spirit of Paddington. He's this sort of lost little bear who's looking for a family and finds it. And a lot of Magic players say they joined the game because they were looking for a community and they found it in the gathering. So I think on a not to get too deep about it, but I've spent obviously years now doing this, so I've had some time to think about why people think this is so popular. And yeah, I think it all stems from the fact that people can really identify with Paddington, and the whimsy of it all just kind of, it makes it such a fun thing to look forward to every day. I love just going to tournaments, I'm going to go to Vegas, and I went last year to Vegas, MagicCon Vegas, and people just coming up to me and saying, I just, if I'm having a bad day, I'm excited to see Paddington because it's going to make me smile for just a moment, and it's like that's something that keeps me motivated. So there's days where I'm like, oh, I gotta make Paddington. But I don't ever feel like it's a burden or it's like I have to do it. If I felt like that, I would stop. I would tell people, hey, I'm burnout. But I'm fueled by my excitement to try new things. I'm always trying to put Paddington into new styles of Magic cards.
Yeah, I love the way you've changed your ways to put him into cards like Fry, where you only see his burnt legs or stuff like that. Like Fracture, at first I couldn't see him, and he's in the reflection. That's great.
Yes, yeah. Poor Paddington. He has been blown up, pulled apart, squished and smashed, and he's also been all the heroes, all the planeswalkers, and everybody. So yeah, people, it's give and take.
You are a monster.
Yes, I know, and proud of it because people love those the most. It's so funny. I think, oh no, I've gone too far today. Paddington is, yeah, like you said, Fry. I've blown his whole upper body off, and no, people are going, it's hilarious. It's just so funny to think about it. And he'll be fine tomorrow. Don't worry. He'll
Of
be on
course.
some new adventure in the morning.
He's got regenerate.
He does.
So how many Paddingtons are there now?
The original series, as I said, there was 200. And then today is day 339 of the second series. And so that makes it 500, as of today, 539 images. And I only do them 5 days a week, each weekday. So you can extrapolate that over how many years now I've been doing this. I had this mindset in the first series that I had to do only the most iconic cards of Magic. I was sort of trying to do like the Power 9 and the cards that people knew and would recognize. But what happened was Lord of the Rings, the set came out, and people started messaging me saying, you have to turn this character into Paddington. This looks like it would be a perfect Paddington. And I thought, man, that's kind of a neat idea, because if I only focus on the new cards, or mostly focus on the new cards, I don't really have to think about it. And I started having so much fun, and I fell right back to it. People were going, he's alive! And so I had died. As soon as I stopped doing Paddington, I was dead to the world. And, no, I've been here the whole time. I tried some other stuff, but yeah, okay, happy to be back.
I really loved the ones reacting to the news about the bannings.
Yes, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that I can do with my series. I want people who are following me to count on the fact that I'll be this little nice oasis, of the Paddingtons, and I talk about my kids, and I post about being a dad, and just normal stuff. But all that to say, in some subtle, sneaky ways, I can kind of have Paddington reacting to things that happen in the world. And when the bands came out, and especially when I looked at them all, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this. So I had Paddington sort of ushering the ban into each individual card, with the mana crypt, and he's saying, this way is area closed, and he's holding up a sign and stuff. So subtly, I can kind of get in on some of the stuff that's going on, but I always want it to be in a way of levity and revelry, and I don't want it to ever be a negative.
So, last two questions. Which one was the hardest Paddington to make, and which one's your favorite?
Peer through the abyss. Oh, that nearly killed me because I love getting requests. Always, if you have requests, tweet them at me. Although I will laugh because half the time people say, "Hey, can we get this?" and it's already been done. But people wanted me to do Peer Through the Depths, and so right at the end of Series 1, I had like 4 Paddingtons left to do, until I hit 200, and I was going to call it good. And I said, I got to do Peer Through the Depths. I've got to figure it out. So I found my iconic image of Paddington roaring. I'll tell you, that's really funny real quick. So Paddington is this super sweet character, and finding him making expressions that fit some of the more, like the dragons roaring and all of that, so tough. But there's one magical scene in the very first movie. It's when Mr. Brown asks Paddington what his name is, and Paddington leans forward and he says, "Oh, my name is," and he roars his name in bear.
My name is...
But there's just this still frame where he really looks like he's roaring. It's like a really nice roar. So that has become dragons and monsters and every kind of thing that I can do. And I took that, and that was what I used to pull apart in a lot of editing and kind of doing with his jaws and making it so it looked like that peer into the abyss. But that was definitely the hardest one. And people loved it. People went crazy, so I said, okay.
It's incredible.
Well, it was worth the time, but that one I started and quit like at least 4 or 5 times throughout the series of just saying, I can't figure out how I'm going to do this, so I'm quitting. But yeah, my favorite one, man, that is so tough. Oh, I know which one it is. Is it Whispers of the Muse, that where it's sort of a translucent muse talking in somebody's ear, kind of leaning over the shoulder. And I thought, well, what if I made the muse Paddington? And so that was such a huge challenge because the character was translucent. So I had to take the muse completely out, put Paddington in, and then manipulate the image so that it looked like you could see through Paddington. So that one was a ton of work. It was very popular, and I think that's my favorite one because when I was at MagicCon Vegas last year, somebody came up to me, and they had paid an artist to take the original card and make my Paddington artwork as an altar on the card itself. And that blew my mind. I was like, people had taken my artwork and printed proxies before, but to pay to have an artist actually physically paint Paddington over top of their card, and now that's in their collection, and then they had me sign it, of course, that blew my mind. So that Whispers of the Muse, that's my favorite one for sure.
Well, thanks, Jeffrey. That was super interesting.
Yeah,
And I hope you
so
keep on
much.
doing many Paddingtons.
I'm going to keep at it. Thanks so much for letting me be on your show. I really appreciate it.
Merci d'avoir regardé jusqu'au bout. Si la vidéo t'a plu, tu peux laisser un petit like, un petit commentaire. Et si tu veux me soutenir financièrement, tu peux le faire pour 1 € par mois sur buymeacoffee/passioncarton et tu auras accès à toutes mes decklists. À la prochaine.